The boardroom was unraveling, executives frozen, investors confused, and a billionaire CEO visibly sweating under pressure. A major international deal was moments from collapse because no one could speak the language, until a voice from the doorway shattered the silence. It wasn't a suited translator, it was the janitor. A black woman in a cleaning uniform, speaking flawless Mandarin. Eyes widened, mouths opened, respect turned to panic. Because what came next would flip power, perception, and prejudice on. It's head. This is the story behind the meeting no one saw coming. Welcome, story lovers. Where are you watching from? Comment your city. Asterisk every morning at 6 a.m. Maya arrived at the towering glass building downtown, just another janitor in a blue uniform blending into the background. She moved silently through the pristine hallways, polishing executive offices. No one thanked her for. Despite her college degree in linguistics and fluency in Mandarin, her resume never made it past the front desk. It didn't matter how smart she was. To them, she was invisible. She kept her head down, focused on the paycheck she needed to support her mother and little brother. But this Monday was different. A high-stakes international board meeting was scheduled upstairs, and whispers of a missing translator were already circulating. Maya overheard frantic conversations between executives, panic rising behind glass doors. She paused for a second, then turned away, mop in hand. No one looked in her direction, not yet, but they would. Sooner than anyone imagined. The tension in the boardroom was thick. The billionaire CEO paced at the head of the table, flanked by a group of stiff-suited executives and stone-faced Chinese investors. Their translator had mysteriously canceled last minute, and now millions hung in the balance. The CEO barked into his phone, but no backup was available. Panic flickered across his face. The deal couldn't proceed without flawless communication. Downstairs, Maya scrubbed the marble floor, hearing the elevator ping again and again. A manager's voice rang out from the corridor. "We're screwed without a translator." Her heart skipped. She hesitated, then approached cautiously and said, "I speak Mandarin." They laughed. "You?" One of them sneered. "This isn't the time for games." She tried again, calmly repeating the phrase in perfect Mandarin, but they waved her off like static in the air. No one believed her. No one cared. Back upstairs, the investors stood up. The CEO looked pale. This wasn't just a language barrier. It was an international embarrassment unfolding in real time. Then came the moment. One investor asked a question, simple, direct, but no one could answer. The CEO looked around, helpless. And in the silence, a new voice cut through. Maya, standing at the door, translated fluently and flawlessly. Every head turned. The room froze. For the first time that day, people really looked at her. But this wasn't over, not yet. Because respect is never given freely, especially to someone they never expected to matter. The room exploded. Executives murmured, investors leaned forward, stunned. But the CEO didn't look grateful. He looked threatened. Maya continued, translating every word with grace and precision. The Chinese investors smiled, clearly impressed. One even nodded at her in respect. That's when the CEO slammed his folder shut. "Who let her in here?" he snapped. The room went silent. No one answered. Maya stood frozen. She had just saved a multi-million-dollar deal, yet was being treated like a trespasser in her own workplace. One manager mumbled, "She's just the janitor. The investors exchanged glances, their faces hardening, and then one of them stood and spoke directly to Maya in Mandarin. His words made the CEO go pale. She translated with a steady voice. He says, "You should be leading this meeting. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps." The investors refused to continue the meeting without Maya. She stood beside them now, not as a janitor, but as an equal and expert. The CEO had no choice but to watch as she led the negotiations, her voice steady, her presence undeniable. That day didn't just change her role, it exposed a deeper truth. How many brilliant voices are ignored simply because of the color of their skin or the title on their uniform? Maya didn't just translate words. She translated the truth. Talent knows no race, no job title. She walked out of that room with more Then respect she walked out with possibility. Because when the world finally sees you, it can never unsee you again. How many more Mayas are still being overlooked? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.